Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at how to use completing the square. Now, we're going to use completing the square in two different ways. We're going to use it to find our vertex, and later on, we're going to use it to find the roots of our equation. All right, so let's get into it. So the very first step that you want to do is you want to factor out your a term. This is our a term, and you only want to factor it out from the first two terms. So you want to factor a from the first two terms only. All right, so only the first two terms. You're not going to touch the negative 10. So you're going to take out the 2. If you take out the 2, you're left with the x squared plus 8. Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4. And at that point, you close your bracket. You're still going to be leaving the minus 10 outside. Okay. Your second step is you're going to be taking the b value, dividing it by 2, and squaring it. So you're going to take the b, and divide it by 2. And then square the answer. So basically you're doing b divided by 2 and you're squaring it. So what's my b? Well, my b is 4. So if I'm doing b divided by 2, well, that's 4 divided by 2. And I'm squaring the answer, which will give me 4. What am I going to do with this number? Well, you're going to add it and subtract it inside the bracket. Because as the term says, we're trying to complete the square. We're trying to turn this into a perfect square. Okay, so we're still writing the x squared plus 4x, but now we're also writing plus 4 and minus 4. We're adding and subtracting that. And again, we're still not touching the minus 10. The next step is you want to take the negative version out, and only the negative version. You're going to take it out. But if it's leaving the bracket, it needs to get multiplied by the number on the outside, which is 2. So you're not going to be taking out negative 4, you're going to be taking out negative 8. So your first step, bring the negative outside. Okay, so let us collect our like terms here. So 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 is what's left inside my bracket. And outside my bracket, I've got minus 10, minus 8, which is leaving me with minus 18. Okay. Now what that does now is we have our equation inside is now a perfect square. And because it's a perfect square, it falls under ax squared. Not ax squared, sorry. It falls under the perfect square formula, which is ax squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And when we have that, we know that we can always turn it into a plus b squared. And if this was a negative, into a minus b squared. So taking a look at our function here, our a value is 1, and our b value is 2. Remember, you're not using the 4. This is b squared. So I can turn this into, because it's a perfect square, x plus 2. And the reason why I'm using the plus, because it's a plus there. Don't forget about the outside. We've got minus 18 on the outside. And this is using my completing the square to turn it into vertex form. Now in vertex form, we can find our vertex by quite simply looking at these two numbers, the 2 and the negative 18. So my vertex, in this case, would be, you're not using the plus 2, you're going to use the opposite. So it's going to be negative 2 and negative 18. So that is my vertex. So remember, your final step is to collect your like terms. Now, how would I then go about and find the roots? So to find the roots of the equation, what you would do is you solve for your x. So you already have your equation as 0 is equal to 2x plus 2 squared minus 18. This is what we call vertex form. So to find your roots, you want to get x by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 18 to both sides. Remember, you always want to do reverse BEDMAS here. You want to get the x by itself slowly but surely. So you're going to have 18 on this side. Reverse BEDMAS would mean I want to get rid of division next. How to get rid of a clingy best friend? You're getting a divorce. Okay, so the 2's are going to go away, leaving me with 9. And finally, how do you get rid of a squared? Well, you're going to take the square root of both sides. Which is going to leave you with, now remember, whenever you take the square root, you're not just getting one number, you're going to get plus or minus 3. So that means I can have two different solutions. One where I have plus 3 is equal to x plus 2, and the other when I have negative 3 is equal to x plus 2. Once again, you're going to get the x by itself. You're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Doing both at the same time here. It's going to leave me with 1 on this side. It's one of my x's. And negative 3 minus 2, that's going to give me negative 5. And those are my two x-intercepts. So this has been showing you how to find your vertex form, which hence gives me my vertex, and finding the roots using only the completing the square method. I hope that's helped everyone, and have a wonderful day.